Hello, welcome to Save US Taxes Legally. I'm going to start off with three simple questions. In the chat, either put yes, Y for yes, or N for no. Number one, do you want to leave a legacy for future generations? In the chat, put yes or no. Question number two, do you want to save taxes year after year, generation after generations? In the chat, put yes or no. Question number three, do you want to have all lawsuits just become frivolous and go away? In the chat, put yes or put no. Welcome to Save US Taxes Legally. My name is Sally Gimmon. I'm the owner of www.thetrustisyou.com. I also have a free class on the Great Discovery. My first name and my last name. My first name, Sally, squished together with my last name is Gimmon. G-I-M like Mary, O-N like Nancy. Imagine saving 4, 5, 6 figures in taxes every single year. You could use this money to put back into your business, to buy more investments of whatever you're doing, to pay off your mortgage, buy a new vehicle, take your family on a well-deserved vacation, give to your favorite charity, or save for retirement. Imagine no one knows what you own, where you own it, how much you own, what you do with it, how long you hold it, and how much you sell it for. Do you realize 40% of all LLCs, S Corps, and C Corps get sued every year? Imagine all lawsuits go away and become frivolous and go away. Think of how much time, anxiety, worry, money just disappear. This is the power of the trust. I believe every single US investor, US business owner, US entrepreneur, US 1099 income earner needs to know this information. It's not taught in school. I believe since I took 5 months to learn this information, it's my duty and my honor to teach it to others. And finally, I believe the playing field must be leveled for all businesses. The Amazons of the world get free land in Staten Island. My brother lost his brewery because rents went too high. Now, to give you a little bit of information about this, I'm going to share my screen first off. Give you a little bit of information about this. This comes from England back in 1594, if I got the year right. I'm dyslexic, so please forgive me if I got it wrong. When King Henry VIII started the Church of England, he went to go tax the lords and ladies of England. They went further back to the 13th century to the Magna Carta and said, oh, no, 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 King Henry VIII, you can't do this. It's contract law that came from England to the colonies while we were still part of England. Our current tax code that we're under currently right now went into effect in February of 1913. It's only supposed to be around for a few years, but then we entered World War I. The only thing that's happened since then, it's grown and grown and grown and grown. The super rich families of 1913, the Rockefellers, the DuPonts, the Carnegies, and the Kennedys made sure they could save taxes. Well, if they can save taxes, we can save taxes. Again, this is legal. It's in the IRS Tax Code 643B. Before we get there, I do want to go over a few things. Whoops, let me make this go to the next page. Most people are unaware there's 4 ways to file your taxes, and there's 7 layers to taxes. Starts at 10% and goes all the way up to 37%. This is on the federal level. On January 1st of 2025, quietly, the IRS changed the tax code. Check this out. If you're filing married, filing separately, you're paying the same amount as single, the most expensive way, all the way up to 35%. And then at 37%, it's cheaper, but not as cheap as if you're filing married jointly. You get nothing out of this seminar. If you are married, please file jointly. It is the cheapest way to file your taxes. So, my personal story, so you have it. I'll show you this. When you Google this, tax code 643B, you will find an opinion letter from the IRS dated September 11th, 2018. They specifically say in this letter they do not like tax code 643B, and they do not like the irrevocable, complex, discretionary, non-grantor spendthrift trust. It's their opinion. In my opinion, I do not like lima beans. Please never make me eat lima beans. But this is important. They call out the 5 elements that are super important for the Spendthrift Trust. Let's go over this. Irrevocable. This goes from generation to generation to generation. The Rockefellers Spendthrift Trust is 7 generations old and has over 400 people under the same EIN or employee identification number. 97% of the trusts sold in the United States are what my mom and dad had and what Susie Orman talks about on PBS television, the family trust. There's nothing wrong with the family trust or the living trust. It's only geared to avoid probate and then it dissolves because it's a revocable trust. So this is irrevocable. It's complex. This trust can hold money day to day, week to week, month to month, year to year, decade to decade, century to century. Again, my mom and dad's trust dissolved. My mom passed away first, then my dad passed away, and then all assets had to be divided. This trust goes from generation to generation. Third element, discretionary. Whoever is the trustee or trustees can make the rules for all the beneficiaries. They can do it while they're alive and also from the grave. There's no infighting, there's no contesting the will, there's nothing like that. True story, a client of mine, husband and wife, who have 4 apartment buildings in Los Angeles. Their adult daughter lives in one of the apartments rent-free, but they're requiring her to do 4 random drug tests per month and pass them. She actually took her mom and dad to federal court. The judge read through the trust, and he said she had 2 options. Option A, stay sober, stay off drugs, pass the drug test, stay living rent-free, or option B, move out. I do not want to be invited to their Thanksgiving dinner. If they serve lima beans, it'd be even worse. Non-Grantor. This makes the trust completely private. When you start the trust, you will have someone who will never be a trustee and never be a beneficiary who will sign up to be the grantor or the settler of the trust. It's not a speed bump, but you will need their social security number. I have done this for several of my clients. It's not a big deal. And then finally, Spendthrift. This has been in front of the United States Supreme Court on 2 separate occasions, and both times it's been favored. You can't get more legal than this. Now, Paul Benson was a Harvard law professor who wrote 5 separate trusts 77 years ago. Today, we're going to talk about 2 of the major trusts, the business trusts and the beneficial trusts. The other 3 trusts he wrote is the senior trust, anybody over 65 making too much money. There's the the charitable trust for any 501c3 company. And finally, the mineral rights trust. I've only sold one of those. One of my beneficial trust clients inherited his granddad's horse farm in Oklahoma that has 6 oil wells on it. So the business trust is for all U.S. business owners, entrepreneurs, franchisee owners, and 1099 income earners. You will save at least 90% on federal income taxes, and in 43 states no longer pay state income taxes. This is an actual client of mine. He called me on January 3rd. He's 27 years old, 29 years old. He was in the military and works for a defense contractor. He's a salesman and makes 1099 income. In 2024, he knew he made $150,000 and had nothing to show for it. He lives in an apartment with 2 roommates and drives a 10-year-old car. With the trust for all of 2025, he would save, his federal taxes would be $28,847 at 90%, at least 90%. He would save $25,962. On top of that, Virginia state income taxes are 5.75%, so he'll save an additional $8,625. Add those 2 numbers together, that would be $34,587 for the full year. This is his money to put back into his business, to pay off a mortgage. Well, he's going to buy a house, buy a new car, take his family on vacation. Doesn't have a family just yet, ladies. He's single. Give to his charity or save for retirement. His plan is to put a down payment on a house. Again, if you're making at least $100,000 gross per year, you could be saving 4, 5, 6 figures in taxes every single year. Now, my personal story. So you have it. I became a real estate investor in 2018 when my mom got sick. My mom and dad drove from Goodyear, Arizona to North Carolina for a family wedding. I couldn't get the time off because I was a Medicare broker, and I did a red eye Friday night to Saturday morning. We went out to IHOP for breakfast, family tradition, and then my father took me to the hospital to see my mom. I walked in on the priest giving my mom last rites. I was not ready for that. She got septic of the blood. She was on a ventilator for 13 months, in a hospital for 15 months. She had to have her pacemaker taken out and put back in, but she got better and came home. Thank God. My dad stayed with my mom in North Carolina while this was going on. I was driving out to their house every week to do the mail. And the first month in the hospital and emergency room, it was $72,000. It was just her statement for Medicare. My dad's retired military. They had TRICARE for life. I'm standing in my mom and dad's kitchen. I know I have a $10,000 deductible for my health insurance. I had my 3-week-old car driving to work to be a Medicare broker. Second car threw in a green light on Indian School Road. Some idiot ran the red light, hit me on the passenger side. I asked everyone not to call an ambulance because I knew I had a $10,000 deductible. I was upside down on my auto loan, had a second auto loan. I had a mortgage, I had credit card debt, I had student loans because I went to graduate school, and I hated my job. Right then and there, I called my friend Glenn, who had invited me to a real estate meeting in August of 2018, and I said to Glenn, I need to change my life today. He's like, Sally, next weekend, we're having a potluck Christmas party. Bring a $5 gift and some food and meet my fellow real estate investors. I pulled up my big girl pants, went to the party. I met my mentor there. And with my mentor in 2029, I wholesaled 7 bank-owned properties nationwide. Including one of those properties was this bank-owned reverse mortgage in Rocky Mount, North Carolina. My mom was in the hospital in North Carolina. I bought it for $20,000, and it was going to go to auction for $50,000. COVID struck around March 17th of 2020. I knew that everything I did was shut down because I used courthouses. And on April 4th of 2020, my CPA called me to say, I made so much money that instead of being at 22% tax rate, I was now at 24% tax rate. And I was going to owe the federal government for $94,000 in short-term capital gains from 2019. I only had $50,000 in my bank account because I thought, hey, this was going to work forever, this real estate. He put me on a payment plan. I knew that $30,000 I would make on this property when it went to auction at 24%. I would have to owe $7,110. I spent 5 months researching the Rockefellers Spendthrift Trust, and I contacted a law firm. And when I called them, they told me they didn't do it. The next day, I got an unsolicited call from California. Don't know why I picked it up, but it was the guy, just like me, who was a representative of the law firm and offered me both the business and the beneficial spendthrift trust. I said to Richard, hey, I'm in a real estate group. I want to start a mastermind to teach other real estate investors how they can save taxes. I became his affiliate. True story. I called him on a Thursday. He was supposed to send me something by email. When I called back his phone number on Tuesday, somebody strange answered it. And they told me he went into the hospital on Saturday with a busted appendix and passed away. Thought my entire world was turned upside down. The law firm contacted me later that week and said since I knew how to sell these trusts, I became a direct affiliate of the law firm. So this one house, I didn't go to auction until August 28th of 2021. I took it from my LLC and put it into my trust. I made $44,326 without lifting a hammer. On that one house, at 24%, I got to save $10,368. I took that money and put it into more real estate, and into more real estate, and into more real estate. Now, the beneficial trust is going to save you capital gains, short-term and long-term, when you sell something at a profit. It's going to save you interest income taxes if you're a passive investor. It's going to save you dividend income taxes if you're in the stock market. It's going to save you rental income taxes if you're a real estate investor. and it's not on here, but also royalty income taxes if you have talent or if you're in NFT world. Their taxes are a little bit less, between 10% to 35%. But I just want to show you, if you make $50,000 in profit in 1 year, depending on your tax bracket, you will save this much per tax bracket. My tax bracket went to 24% in 2020. I wholesaled 7 properties. Since then, I now have wholesaled 28 properties. I have 12 notes, which is interest income taxes, 3 rentals. I have 4 seller financing houses, interest income taxes. My friend does my options trading, capital gains. And because I get paid by the law firm, because it's copyrighted, I get to save royalty income taxes. I'm not paying taxes on any of that. I'm not trying to crow. I'm trying to show you how to save taxes. Now, long-term capital gains are when you sell a business, you sell your investment property, or baseball card. I'm not a CPA, but you'll either pay 15% or 20%. This is a true story. The son saw my TikTok video. His mom and dad were selling a family restaurant that Jim and his brothers built back in 1982 for $3 million and selling it April 30th of 2023. Sorry, lied. At 15%, he got to save $450,000. At 20%, they were going to save $600,000. Jim said they were working with a business broker, Sam. Contacted Sam. Sam said, I'm going to make $30,000 off this deal. I need to get the business trust. Sold him the business trust. I told him about my affiliate program. Sam tells the gentleman, Michael, who's buying the restaurant for $3 million. Michael has 6 other restaurants in 3 different states, and how he could save both federal and state income taxes. Michael bought the business trust. Sam made an extra $1,000. If you would like to find out more, you can always schedule a 30-minute tax breakthrough session with me at www.thetrustisyou.com/scheduling. My free class on the Great Discovery is www.sallygimmon.com. There you'll get a presentation similar to this. You get 3 articles from Forbes magazine that I did not write. You get 2 pages of case law so you can research this to your heart's content. With this trust, like I said, it's legal. It's in the IRS Tax Code 643B. It's been in front of the United States Supreme Court. I'm not trying to crow about how much money I'm saving, but I also want you to remember back when President Trump was debating Hillary Clinton, and Hillary Clinton said, you don't pay taxes, and he says, because he's smart. His father started this trust in 1972. Follow the breadcrumbs of the rich and start saving taxes. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you learned something new from this. If you want to save taxes, please don't hesitate to contact me. Have a beautiful week.